What's going on, guys? This is Nate from the Strap Academy welcoming you to our next deck profile here on the channel. Today we are at the Des Moines Regional, and I'm here with Bruce, who just took first place with his Fire King and Snake Eye deck. I'm gonna go ahead and jump right into the deck profile.
Yes, sir. So, pretty self-explanatory. You do run 3 Snake Eye Ash. It's the best normal summon in the deck. This card by itself plays through almost anything if you play it well, and thankfully I did today, and it was able to get me the dub. 2 popular. You only need 2. I've seen some people like run around with 3. That's usually for the pure versions. You only need 2 in this deck. And then of course the 1 Oak. The 1 Oak allows you to play through again all the other hand traps. Ash gives you access to it, and being able to like rotate through all these is just insane. And then probably the most broken card in this deck is Flameburge. This card is just ridiculous. It's like Block Dragon 2.0. This card should not be a freaking card. It's insane.
For people who don't know what that card does, what does it do?
Yeah, so while it's on the field, just ignition effect, you can just target a monster on the field or in the graveyards and put it into the spell trap zone. And then on your opponent's turn only, you can quick effect, target any monster in the spell trap zone, and special summon to your field. So lots of times what you're gonna do with this is you're gonna like make an SP or an IP, put it in your spell trap zone by yourself, and then you're gonna activate its effect to put the IP up into the main monster zone as another interruption, which is ridiculous. Now, something not a lot of people are playing along with the Snake Eye engine is the Divine Temple of Snake Eye, and especially Fire King version. This card is literally crazy. When you open up the Diabellstar engine and the Snake Eye engine, having this card allows you to play through every single hand trap. It gives you extension. You get to play through Nib. It's so good. And at the end of the day, also at the same time, it can be an extra send, or it can be like a send up from hand for Diabell. And then the card that can search all of those cards, Triple Bonfire, you gotta run it. Unfortunately, the game is really expensive, but like you gotta run it. It's too good. Top decking this or just having it in your hand as an extender is just way too good. Speaking of extenders, the best extender in the deck is Diabellstar. Like this whole engine is just absolutely insane. I was talking to my friends last night, and when we were like talking about like the theory behind like running 3 Diabell was people are gonna be running so many hand traps that you want to have a card that you can just extend with. And so having the access to the, like your first search out popular being the Divine Temple, and then having this as your access point to your original allows you to play through a lot more things. And it also gives you just more options, which I really enjoyed. With this, you did play the Triple Wanted, and then of course the 1 original. I've seen people play more than 1 original. It's totally fine, but like I only ran 1 because I didn't want any dead cards in my deck. For the Fire King cards, easily the worst cards in this deck. The best of these cards is the Triple Kieran that you run. I dodged like 4 Imperm/Effect Veilers today just with this card, and that's the only reason this card is good, honestly. The other cards are pretty bricky, like the Garunics, the Arvada, and the Ponix. They're pretty bricky by themselves. The Snake Eye cards are easily the best cards in the deck, but these just add an extra punch to your board and adds an extra layer of interaction, and also makes your better hand so much better. So I wanted to play something that I could go over the top with in order to do well, and that's why I played. Now, a lot of people are going to find this controversial. I just ran 1 Sanctuary, 1 Island. I didn't think that you need to run Circle. As I was like playtesting, lots of times I felt like Circle or Fire King, the Skyburn was just bricky. I didn't like having bricks in my deck. I wanted every card, as much as I could at least, be playable. I wanted to open playable. I wanted to push through boards, and so I didn't want to put another brick in my deck in the form of Circle, even though it is pretty good follow-up.
Is there anything with the Fire King area that you would like change?
No, I liked exactly all the ratios that I had here. I would not change anything. I think there's an argument to be made to play a second Fire King Island. It never came up for me today, so I don't think I would. For our interaction points, we run 14 or 15, is it? Yeah, 15. Triple Imperm, Triple Nib, Triple Ash. Ash has like dual purpose in this deck, of course, because there's lots of lines where you open up Snake Eye Ash plus any fire allows you to extend super hard. So having an Ash Blossom allows you to have that extra fire. It's also the best card in like just rogue, so I just wanted to play it. Triple Ghost Bell. This is also a change to I think a lot of people's main decks. Lots of times in this slot people are playing Droll. I'm not playing Droll in the main. I didn't find that it was impactful enough against the Fire King Snake Eyes deck, and it does almost nothing to the Snake Eyes deck. They end up, I think they end with like 1 less body or something if they open up with Ash, and I felt Ghost Bell was just infinitely more powerful. You can Ghost Bell someone's Flameburge, you can Ghost Bell someone's Promethean Princess. This card's good and on turn 1 and on turn 2. It's also really good because you get to main it I mean, it doesn't really matter because she probably sided in, but like it's really good for soul release and any of the banishing effects from grave. So like called by and stuff. I ashed someone, they called by it, and I activated Droll to chained onto it because they just needed the ash to go not to resolve. So it was just nice. I ran 2 talents. This is actually really funny. My car mates were like debating whether or not we should run talents in our deck, and at the very end, everything I just decided to throw them in. I went to 41, so this list is at 41, and I decided to just throw 2 in. These cards won me every single game. If you watch the stream on the Scrub Academy here, you'll actually get to see like I opened this in my final game in top to win the event, and it's insane. And then along with all the other like hand traps that are running around, of course you need to run Called By. If you're running Soul Release in your side deck, you should be running Called By in your main. As simple as that.
All right, let's jump into that extra deck.
Yep. So that was the main deck. Onto the extra deck. Shout out to the homies. Link Karibo, you have to run it. I think that if my opponent had like banished this in the cashier matchup, it would have been pretty devastating because this card's just so insane for lots of the combos. For Link 2s, you of course run the double Charmer package, Dark and Hita. These cards are insane in the mirror match, into Rogue, into whatever. They just give you extra bodies, and extra bodies get you to Promethean. So these are just turn 2 monsters into Promethean, which is just insane. Speaking of turning things into Promethean, do a little Chimera comes up in a couple of lines that allow you to get to Promethean really easily after you make it an Apo. So I decided to play it because it can have that opportunity. Plus, whenever it's destroyed, you can add back a monster from your graveyard, a fire monster from your grave to hand. So it's like a pseudo Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf. Speaking of Sunlight Wolf, we do run the 1 Sunlight Wolf. And then to round out our Link 2s, we also run 1 IP and 1 SP, the siblings. You gotta run them. For Link 3s, I ran double Promethean Princess. You need to run 2. The amount of times I've seen people run 1, it's devastating. If someone nibs you on Promethean while you have like the Flame Bridge up and you don't run a second one, you just lose right there. Having access to a second one allows you to like keep playing the game. It means the nib doesn't really mean anything to you. For our Link 4s, I ran the Salamangreat World Sea Dragon Zealantis OTK. I think this combo is necessary. These cards are just insane. Also, being able to make a World Sea and then like protect an Appaloosa from like, was it by battle? Battle or card effect is really good. It didn't come up for me. Clearly, I don't know what it is, but like it can be really really good. Then we have Appaloosa and Ambler Whale. Appaloosa is absolutely 100% mandatory in this format. I'm surprised that Appaloosa is becoming a staple to our inboards now, but it is just so good. And then Ambler Whale is just the best Link 4, at least right now, in my opinion, to end on if you just have like a bad hand or if you get hand dropped a lot with Promethean. It just gives you lots of follow-up and lots of pops. And then I ran 1 Underworld Goddess. This was a flex spot. This was either Nightmare Phoenix or Underworld Goddess. I ended on Underworld Goddess at the end of the day. It came up once against Yubel, and it won me the game when I summoned it. Phoenix never came up, though I didn't ever really think about it because it wasn't in the deck, so maybe it would have. And I do still run the 1 Garunix. This card's crazy. I don't know why people don't run it. If you can get to 2 level 8s and then you have the continuous on the field, you just win the game. You just throw this down, it's just another interruption. And then if it gets destroyed after that, you can summon back like 2 Fire King monsters, which gets you to Arvada plus something else that gives you another pop. So it's just insane.
Is there anything in the extra deck you change?
Extra deck changes. I don't think I would. I think this last like flex spot here is a personal preference slot. I think it could have been anything.
All right, side deck.
Finally, side deck. I put the 3 Drolls into the side deck. These came in game 2 against Fire King Snake Eye and not regular Snake Eye. I felt like this card was impactful enough to give them less of a board. If they went second, I would never set this in going first unless I was playing against Menard or something, or any other big combo deck. So I just wanted to have a card that was good into those types of combo decks. Never drew it though. Soul Release, this card was glued to my hand every single time I had a Fire King matchup. I drew this game 2 and I just absolutely blew my opponent. You just target 5, get rid of everything, Cosmic their field spell, game's over.
Pretty explanatory right there.
What?
It's a pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah. Speaking of Cosmic, we do run 3 Cosmic. Don't worry about this being common. Yeah, this Cosmic's an insane card, this format. Almost mainable. I think at bigger events like YCS, this is definitely mainable, but at like a regional, I didn't want to like, not every deck's gonna need this, so. Card was good. I did side cross out in. The theory being when I go first, I just take off 1 of each one of my hand traps and throw in 3 crossouts. Unfortunately, I never drew this card, so it didn't matter. But the theory behind it was nice.
If you didn't have him in, that's when it would come up. And you're like,
Yeah. And then Double Lightning Storm. This card I just felt like covered a lot of matches, whether it was Rogue or not. So I just really like Lightning Storm right now. Cleared out the back row against my final round opponent. Shouts to Kenny. And then finally one Agave Dragon. This might look weird. This was a Curry card going into today, but I wanted a time card. I never needed this. I never went to time, or I went to time once today, but I was already so ahead it didn't actually matter. But there is a 1-card combo with Snake Eye Ash to get into this. If you go first, and you can burn your opponent for every dragon in your deck, or in your grave. And the only dragon you run, the only dragon you actually run is Flamebridge. So you have to like go through this weird Flamebridge line to get to it. My thought process was, if I was gonna tie anyways, I might as well try a random combo that might win me the game, but it never came up.
All right, any other changes you'd make in that deck?
I think this card is unnecessary. I think that you can play fast enough where time just isn't an issue. And the deck is just so powerful that, again, time isn't really an issue. I don't feel super confident on the crossouts, but again, I didn't draw them, so that's really it on that.
All right, got any shoutouts?
Yes, first of all, shout out to Kenny. He was my last round opponent. He's literally a GOAT. He took the loss really well. He deserved to win just as much as I did. I also have to shout out to my car. They're best people in the world. I love coming up, and I'm gonna love going down with them. Shout out to my friend Dan Gallagher, who's going through some rough time right now, but he just kept me happy throughout the entire day. Shout out to Action Sports, best card shop in Kansas City. Andrew Cole, the judge that told me was giving me crap the entire time leading up to this, and the Scrub Academy, of course, for hosting this lovely, helping with this regional.
All right, well, thank you, Bruce, for bringing us your Fire King Snake Eye deck. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to stay tuned. We'll have those live duels up as soon as possible. Thanks again, guys. This is Nathan from the Scrub Academy signing for now. Peace out.